Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be showcasing off a Chaos Goddess Synchro deck. This is a Synchro variant that's going to open up the board with consistently a few negates so you can make it so your opponent cannot play. In addition to the few negates, because you're going to be drawing quite a few cards, the infinite impermanence can also be drawn, and there are times we're going to be able to negate like 5-6 cards, depending on, of course, what you draw. You're going to be able to make it so your opponent literally just doesn't matter what they have in their hand. I like how we open up the play with Prohibition declaring Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which obviously is going to shut down them from using Ash Blossom. Plus, you happen to have the Neo Space Connector, so if you reveal what they have in their hand, you could instantly just Prohibition whatever card that might be. It could be like Nibiru. You can go ahead and stop maybe like a Super Poly if you're playing against heroes. There's a lot of things that Prohibition can be utilized against, but we're here to really showcase off the combo, and there's a few different ways that you guys can actually open up with the build. You don't always have to make the Bow of the Goddess, but it's usually ideal because, well, this card can go ahead and negate multiple times over here. So we've got 4 negates with Apollosa over here, and then there's something I really want to mention with the Chaos Goddess that I didn't actually know about. So whatever card that you go for with Sold, you have that effect where you send a light monster from your hand to the graveyard and bring back a 5 or higher dark monster in your graveyard. So what that actually allows you to do, and that's a once per turn effect, so you can keep on bringing back things. Usually at this point it's usually going to be game anyways, because this card makes it so they cannot target anything for attacks except for this, and then also they cannot target monsters you control for effects. So they basically are forced to go for Cyber's Quantum Dragon, which is totally fodder over here, because the thing is that they're forced to target this card, and then this card can go away completely fine because Chaos Goddess will just bring it right back. And in this instance, it doesn't matter. He's got multiple impermanences, and this card obviously has gone through its negates, but the Bow of the Goddess still has all its negates, and he's just respecting him over here with the Cerberus play. But nonetheless, it didn't really matter. It was over pretty much on the first turn. But that's just how it is with some decks that can be so powerful. Again, look at this. You can bring back Librarian. I mean, that's just mad disrespect over there. But you can bring back Librarian. And if you wanted to, you could easily turn this into a Quasar deck. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out another play over here. And then we'll basically hop right into the other scenarios that you can go into with this deck. But again, the bread and butter of play of this deck is go for a Apollosa with 3 or 4 negates, and then follow up with a Quantum and then the Savage Dragon. If you draw into extra impermanences, that's only more pluses, and obviously with the Bamboo Sword entering because of a Soul. I honestly feel like a Soul could be the next one on the ban list. Comment down below if you guys think that a Soul will be actually hit on the next list, because I feel like this card is just way too strong. It opens up the doors for so many plays. However, we're getting that new Warrior starter / structure deck, so maybe they'll wait until that comes out in the TCG and then they'll go ahead and hit it with the Banhammer or something. I just feel like the card is too good. Putting it to 1 doesn't really do anything. You only really need 1 to go completely off, but this is going to be your standard play, once again, just to show you guys it, and then we'll go ahead and go into a Yugioh play, because you can actually go into a Yugioh depending on what your hand is to try to go for something else here, but pretty much this is the go-to play. So you're going to go ahead and, once again, whatever card that you add with your Soul, which is going to be Neo Space Connector usually, because that's going to be your target, you just go ahead and activate that effect, and then you can go ahead and just bring back instantly that Cyber's Quantum Dragon that you used as a stepping stone for your other cards. But look at, he's going to go Magical Mallet. I would have malleted for everything right there at that point, just hope for the extra impermanence. But we've got 4 negates. This is 5 negates. This is technically kind of like a 6th-ish negate. It basically forces them to get rid of this card instead of anything else. And remember, they can't attack anything except for this. And if they attack it, guess what happens? It bounces it back. And then it can attack again. So pretty much at this point, like, this is 4, 5, kind of 6. And then this is another negate at the end of the day. And then again, Chaos Goddess will just bring it back. So it doesn't really matter if they're forced to basically get rid of that card. But once again, I want to show off this Prohibition play over here. It's actually not bad. Again, he's just calling out Ash Blossom so that way he can go completely off. It's one of the most common hand traps right now. Well, it's been probably the most common hand trap for several formats, I would say. But nonetheless, he is playing against a user that is playing a Gren Maju variant. So a lot of times, if you just call Gren Maju, the deck doesn't have too many cards. I actually didn't check out this guy's deck too much over here. But usually, yeah, Metal Snake, Gren Maju, it's It's a very cookie cutter deck, and in fact in the OCG it has been actually doing quite well. It's a very simple deck to play, so you will definitely be running into it once in a while. But nonetheless, this is a different play over here, so he's going to go for number 60, bring back the Summoner Monk, bring out the Rescue Fair over here, and then he's going to go ahead and bust out all the tuners. So this is a Sorry Yugioh play, which we haven't shown off. We've been showing off both the Goddess plays, which are, I would say, more optimal, but nonetheless, it's still like a good idea just to be able to know exactly what the deck can actually do over here. And also, wanted to mention, we have 2 more days for this Dark Magician in the back. We actually have 2 of these giant Dark Magician Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'll put the link down below in the description box in case any of you guys want to enter to win it. It's completely free. It's just something that official Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links hooked me up with 2 copies of it, and we're going to be giving 1 away. So again, I'll put that in the pinned comment. But once again, I'm going for that Savage Dragon, and on top of that, we've got the Sorry Yugioh to boost up everything by some extra stats. And then on top of that, we have Called by the Grave, and now we're going to go ahead and knock 1 card out of our opponent's hand. We've got Prohibition and then Called by the Grave. There's actually one play where he actually has 2 copies of Prohibition, and at the end, he just calls out for Super Poly, so his opponent can't really do anything. I think it was this one over here. Was this one? I don't even know if this one has. Okay, so he calls Ash Blossom, and I think he draws into it. He plays against. I've never seen this variant before. It is a Exodia variant of Volcanics, I guess. But nonetheless, yeah, calling Super Poly can be very key depending on the matchups. And again, it's more so that you're revealing your opponent's hand, and then you can follow up with Prohibition, so you can stop like pretty much whatever they would do. Stop Kaiju again. You can stop Nibiru, Lava Golem, whatever. I mean, most people don't play Lava Golem at this point. It's basically Kaiju and Nibiru. Mostly Nibiru, though. But this is going to be going for the play with the Summoner Monk. Bring back the Rescue Ferret. And all the pluses that you get off of course, the Divine Sword. Phoenix Blade, which is actually banned in the OCG for those reasons. But being able to just get a lot of free fodder with the cards is definitely key over here. So once again, he draws into a Prohibition. And we're going to be putting that to good use over here. I would have actually maybe called Obliterate, but it doesn't matter. Because remember, guys, this is only a once per turn effect. He is then going to be forced, because it has that effect where you get to bounce 1 card back. You send an Exodia, and then, where is it? Then you get to return that target to the hand. And they're forced to select the Cyberse Quantum Dragon. So he's going to get... use it as stepping stone, go into Savage Dragon, then once again Chaos Goddess with the card that you add with Isolde, you bring it back. And then over here we've got the declared Super Poly. Not that it really matters because it's game over anyways, because, well, this deck just doesn't have what it takes to compete with this. You would need like evenly matched to have like a chance, but more than likely this card would stop it, so you'd have to bait out this card, then hit him up with the evenly matched. That would be the ideal thing. But nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty cool deck, and I haven't seen anyone build something like this. And like I said, you could technically make it a Synchro variant, maybe Quasar if you wanted to. But I think it's unnecessary to make Quasar when this card pretty much outclasses it. When Quasar, you know, it's only once, so this card's got 4 negates, right? So it's just overall much better. I would even consider running 3 copies of Impermanence, and maybe even like... putting the Bamboo Engine down to like 1/1/1. That way you can have some more consistency, and that way if you don't happen to be going first, you can have more impermanences, because this card's very important in most of the meta games. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into deck profile. So we got 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, we got 1 copy of Deshrudo, 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious, then we've got Dark Grepher, copy of Zephyros the Elite, and then Armageddon Knight, 3 copies of Vion, 3 copies of Neo Space Connector, 1 copy of Summoner Monk, 1 Rescue Ferret, 1 copy of Steam the Cloak, 1 Neo Spacian Aqua Dolphin, 2 copies of Ash, 1 copy of Doppel Warrior, 1 copy of Jet Synchron, 1 Glow Up Bulb, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, and then for the Bamboo Engine, I'm just going to put these right next to each other. It's just 2/2/2 of every single one. That way if you draw into another one, it's not that big of a deal. But like I said, I've been actually playing 1/1/1, and I kind of like that ratio. But again, this is a 45 variant, so if you want to drop that, feel free to. Then we've got Foolish, we got Reborn, 3 copies of Called. Then we've got Prohibition at 3 as well, just to call that Ash Blossom, because it is a very combo heavy deck, and you don't want to lose out to an Ash Blossom. Or potentially once you reveal that 1 card that your opponent has, it could be excellent just to go ahead and get rid of it with, of course, the Aqua Dolphin. Another card I could mention that would be really great for the deck is 1/1, because obviously you have two really insanely good targets, and if something gets disrupted, it can kind of help out. If you wanted to actually play Roland, you can opt to do that. That's what I actually been messing around with the God Hero deck variant. But anyways, then we got DDR, Living Fossil. 3 copies of DDR is actually important because Power Tool will guarantee that result of the DDR to bring back and get recyclability of course, the Armageddon Knight. And then we've got the Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade, and then 2 copies of Impermanence. For the X-Rep, we got Savage Dragon, Chaos Goddess, Cyber's Quantum Dragon, Power Tool Dragon, Hyper Librarian, Excel Synchron, and then Quandax. Formula, Celestial, Double Star Shaman. Dingirsu was never technically utilized, but it can be made in the deck. And then number 60, obviously very important. Sword wasn't made, but it obviously is a good card. Sorry, Yugioh, Apollosa, and of course Isolde over here. This is what looks like to be an actual side deck that he was messing around with. So it looks like he's doing Nibiru, System Down, and then a Dark Ruler No More, and then Hey Trinade, and 3 copies of Red Reboot over here. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and if you did, drop a like on it. And if you are new here, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on cool Yu-Gi-Oh replays like this one that you guys just saw over here. And yo, shout out to my boy Allan for sending this in. If you guys want to send in any replays, feel free to go ahead and do so. And once again, thanks Allan for this, and I'll link his channel down below if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, along with of course that Yu-Gi-Oh Dark Magician giveaway, because it's ending in just 2 days. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.